Hello and welcome back to my Let's Challenge of Ratchet and Clank. In the last episode we did most of Planet Hoven, and I believe we also did a lot of orcs on as well, which is really good, and we survived without dying as well, which is really great. We still have access to all of our weapons. Now, last time we also did the first little bit of this, the first other extra bit here on Pukatari, which was getting the Persuader. But now what we're going to do is we're going to find the sole gold bolt that's located here. And it's not like... and the only access you have to it is underwater. You can actually get this once you get the O2 mask, I believe, but I wanted just to have the Hydro Pack, because essentially the underwater section in this level is huge. Like, it is really big. And for that reason alone, having a fast way of moving around in the Hydro Pack is really useful. Now, there is a skill point you can get for blowing up all of the underwater boxes on this planet, which, you know, can take quite a lot of time, but is actually relatively a decent way to earn bolts. I always find that the explosive crates usually carry more bolts within them than normal crates do, at least, so in that sense it's not an entirely pointless crusade, I guess. Anyway, what we're looking for is we're looking for a cave that you can only access from underwater. Essentially, one of the islands on this planet you can only access through the underwater. You then swim up from below, and in doing so, you gain access to a secret area, which obviously then leads to the gold bolt. And our job is to try and find it. So if we just look at the map, anything like straight ahead, stuff like... oops, I didn't mean to do that. So... I don't know exactly, I don't know, like, by heart where it actually is. Just sort of looking around. So that's all the, there you go, that's the underwater crates all blown up. So the question is... where... as we get a trophy as well for it, which is good. Is where is the secret entrance? For some reason I think it's in the middle, it might not be. As we just go around here. Hopefully we won't spend too long looking for this area. It's not that hard to find, essentially. Once we get past like some of the later missions, especially Planet Clevo 3, or yeah, once we get past Clevo 3, then we should actually get access to the Map-O-Matic, which is a little device which actually gives you tells you where all of the secret areas are in all the levels. So there it is. That's the entrance. So you can see there's this archway underwater. We can head through here, and this would obviously be visible on a Map-O-Matic, or at least the existence of this platform and all the above ground platforms would be. So anyway, now that we're here, we will continue with Clevo 3's beautiful array of really like interesting bridges. I don't know why, but I really like the design of all of the bridges on this planet, and they all open in their own very unique way, which is pretty cool. A nice little touch. Okay. Good, thank God. Glad they died to Hyperstrike. I did not realise that, but I'm glad they do. Screw this. Obviously, we know that it doesn't take them out, unfortunately. Well, anyway, so let's just head over here. I wonder if we can use the Walloper on these spiky fish. Anyway, so now, as we continue to make our way through this little area is actually quite a lot of stuff. There we go, nice, okay. that was the energy blast from the octopus, or whatever it is, that killed me. Anyway. Lovely. There's not really too much risk here, which is always good. Certainly in this sort of challenge. You don't want to be risking too much. Ow. Typical, I'd blow up the boxes instead of the enemy. But anyway, okay, so now we just continue to make our way around. Get some ammo. Can't actually make it up there. So there's the gold bolt. We can. We just climb up the waterfall? Surely. This might be one of those areas. I did mention this when we got the first pack, but this might be actually one of the weird little scenarios where the thruster pack just doesn't have quite a high enough jump, and the heli pack does. Yes, is the answer to that. No idea why that is, but just occasionally. Hopefully that fish won't kill me. But we get our gold bolt, which is complete Poketaru, for all intents and purposes for us, which is really good. I believe this drops us off partway through the level. Just quickly grab these bolts. No point not. And then we will continue on with the story, which will take us to, I believe, we've got Oltanis orbit is the next thing for us. So we will get there as fast as possible. Come on, suck them up. Not. I'm not dying. Something I'm doing as an extra. That would be most annoying. Okay, so that's that. Lovely. Ow. That was a mistake. That ammo? No, we don't. So there we go, finally done with Poketaru. And now we will head over to the Gemlik base on Oltanis orbit, but quickly. So, there we go. Nicely done. We can now head over to Oltanis orbit. So we will head off.
It is time to begin your new assignment.
Ah, a photo op by your shiny new shuttle. Terrific idea.
Oh, you really are an idiot.
What?
You are to take that shuttle to the moon base and ambush those two miscreants when they arrive.
Oh, yes. Who are they again?
Those two!
Oh, of course. There is just one problem. I'm,
Too washed up for ground combat? True. That is why I will be loading you my starfighter. You can still fly, can't you? It's settled then. You will acquire the starfighter once you get to the moon. Screw this up, and the endorsement deal is off.
But they were grilling me.
You wouldn't. Try me.
Apologies if the screen was a little dark there. Hopefully,
I did not see Drek's ship.
maybe not.
Who knows where Quark is now? If we're gonna catch those two, we need a faster ship.
Perhaps this space station will supply the ship we need.
Well, we're here. Let's go check it out.
So hopefully that's not going to be too dark for you guys to see everything. So okay, so Oltanis orbit. This is one of my least favourite missions in the game, just because I find it personally very
I
difficult.
got some great bargains for you.
But what we are going to do, start off, is we're going to get some new weapons. Specifically, do we want to get them all, or do I want to save up for premium? I think we got to get them all. So we'll get all these weapons. So we get the drone device, which is essentially this little thing that I've currently got on right now. It gives you essentially some free hits. The drones block enemy projectiles and stuff like that. We also got the decoy glove and the Visibomb gun. The Visibomb gun is essentially a more powerful version of the Devastator, and it fires missiles which you can actually steer, which is rather useful. So, now, let's see. I think these guys are sub-cannonable. They are, indeed. Which is always a good sign. Those sort of robot chickens, which make very odd sounds when you hit them, they're sort of like the swarming enemy of this area. And so, obviously being able to use the suck cannon on them is actually very helpful. So, what the Gadgetron Help Desk button was trying to talk about is these big pulsing towers. You'll be able to see what she means. Talking about these things just here, and in order to destroy them, we need either the Devastator or the Visibomb gun. And if you don't have them, then you actually are a bit screwed. Obviously, normally you wouldn't actually be in a position where you could potentially lose access to those weapons. Goodbye. Why am I using the Walloper? I don't know, but anyway. So some of these are a lot easier. You can use the Devastator for every single one, so every single one of these towers is hittable in a straight line, which is important to remember because sometimes some of them seem like they're not, but they all are. So we end up with a bunch of these guys on sort of turrets, who are easily dealt with as long as you just go around them. It's also quite a long level, and it's not particularly keen on giving you lots and lots of checkpoints, which makes it a bit of a challenge, which is always good. We want that, and that, and that. That's the first example of a trespasser, I think, where we've actually had more, had access to more lasers than there were actually ports on the side, so you could actually block, well, inevitably, not all of the lasers could fit in, because there were too many. So, it's just another complication to obviously those puzzles, because you sort of, natural response, I guess, is to just rotate the discs until you don't see any red light, and obviously in that situation you actually have to. So, let's go here. So, there. So that's got to go there. That can go there. actually access those two. Okay, interesting. I can do that one. There we go. Okay, so all of these opening areas in this level is just you finding ways to avoid the guys in the turrets. So we've obviously had the little platform on the first one, we had the walkway above, and now we've got this little area below, because obviously their range of fire is completely limited to a single plane, which means they're not particularly worrisome at all. Anyway, so okay, so now, yeah, another tower to destroy, and then you've got this sort of starfighter. I believe we'll take a couple of, 2 hits, and then when you enter here, I believe there's another one behind the door. Yeah, oh, there's 2. So that should deal with those, hopefully. Yeah, looks like it. Good. So these sort of canisters you see here, they're only dangerous if you actually let them explode. And they do actually have a relatively large sort of explosion radius, I guess, blast radius. But outside of, without the actual blast radius, they're actually completely harmless. They don't actually hurt you at all. So you could actually just stand on them and all this sort of stuff. Anyway. So, now, we have to enter the station here, but I'm just wondering something. Essentially, there is one, if we go to Zabon gun, quit. There is a tower. So this is what it looks like inside of Isabon gun, essentially. But what I'm looking for are any other glowing towers, because I'm pretty sure there is a gold bolt inside this area. And blow those up we can. Interesting. I can't remember exactly where it is, but essentially I'm pretty sure there's a tower which opens a force field within one of the inside sections, which allows you to access the gold bolt. I'm pretty sure you can shoot it with a laser bomb, but I don't actually know where that is. And the other way of, it's not necessary that you need to do it like this, because you can very simply just this is kind of, I can't remember. You might get a skill. Do you get a skill point for blowing all these up? Or maybe you blow them up in the later section of this level. Anyway, I don't want to continue, but yeah, essentially there is something that you can do. But you can actually get the gold bolt that I'm talking about just by completing the level and then returning. So the force field area will then be open once it's once you get over. So if we just jump across. Nice. I think this certainly looks like the area I'm thinking of. Yeah. So yeah, so that's the force field I'm talking about. There's the gold bolt, and like I say, there is certainly a way of actually getting access to that before you finish the level. But the easiest way of getting access to it, i.e., requiring no knowledge about where to go, is just to complete the level and then come back to this area, and you will find it just there. And that force field will have disappeared. Nice. Okay, so now. So we're now into quite a long sort of magnet boot section where essentially you just got to obviously avoid the rising goo. Oops. As you can see, the green goo there doesn't actually immediately kill you, which is very, very good, given that I obviously landed in it. But in many ways, I'm pretty sure the orange goo in the magnet boot section does. So that you definitely do need to be careful of. Okay, so now this section used to really screw me over because essentially, obviously, you can see that I've actually blown up the. This is where that tower was that I did blow up when I was using the visible. Looks like we're just out of range. But I used to have no idea actually how to blow up that tower because the force field is there and actually blocks all your devastator shots. And the way you're meant to do it, as I will now demonstrate, is you're meant to just come up to here where there's a vendor. So there's a vendor up here. And then, if you look through that, there is a hole in the wall, and if you shoot a Devastator or a Visibomb through that hole, you can then get access to the force field. But for ages, I had no idea how to do that. So now, what you can do, like I said, these aren't actually dangerous to you in that they don't explode when you touch them, so you can actually climb on them to get up to these areas. Too low, yeah. Essentially, you saw that the fighter jet actually blew up some of the canisters, which probably means that I can't actually get access to that. Which is a bit annoying, but oh well. Okay, so now. So in the next section you've got all these guys who will shoot you if you try and get across. There are 3 of them in a row, but we can easily bypass them if we hack this trespasser slot. So that is obviously, could go there for example, I could go there, I could go there. And then you can just kill these guys from behind as we have the other enemies of this type. I think the music in this level, I mean, I'm not a great fan of it, like I wouldn't listen to it like outside of the game, but I think it does actually really suit the level itself. Very suitably eerie and anyway, we can suck up these guys and then use them to kill every single one of them. There we go. Oh, we should just get the Devastator out because there are a couple of those waiting for us. Ow, I did not see that second one coming. That was a mistake. Anyway. So there's going to be another section where you actually have to avoid the dude shooting at you, but what you can actually do is you can just, very similar to the sort of the sniper holes in Orkson in the last level, you can just shoot at them up here. No idea why these vents are here, but obviously we can use them to our advantage. And given that I'm not super high on health, it's a good thing. So anyway, yeah, so normally you just have to rush through this area, but because we've taken out these enemies, we don't need to worry. And now I think we have the last major challenge of this area. You can see that we immediately go to our magnet boots because for some reason this lift turns upside down. And then we are going to drop down here, and what we're going to do actually, just quickly, might as well use it. So we're going to set up a drone. So as you can see, it's just an area full of these full of these spawners. So key thing first is obviously to destroy all the spawners. And once you've done that, you can then start paying attention to these guys who do a very good job of actually hurting themselves. Nice and simple. I believe that should be pretty much the end of this level, aside from the boss. Because we obviously know where Ratchet and Clank don't, but we know from the cutscene that Quark is coming to get us, and we can now go see what he is going to bring. So... we head up here, we can then head up this narrow staircase. And...
oh, Captain Ratchet. Come and get me, hero.
Perhaps we could obtain a ship in there.
Great idea. Let's go.
so, naturally we do obtain a ship, and now we have got to chase down Quark. So you just got to shoot the things as they catch you. He can obviously catch you in this white tractor beam of his. Once you get him down to this level, he's now going to start laying down lots of mines behind him. But yeah, I forgot he's got other ships to help him out as well. So, but they give you ammo as well, which is rather handy. Health, I believe. they do give you health. That one dropped health. So yeah, now he starts playing lines. Just want to see something. See if we can actually destroy these ships. So we can. Obviously, don't want to crash. So I'm just going to be a little careful. Obviously, you can get back, stand back a bit. And then, nice and simple.
Well, Ratchet, I'd say you passed the test. Oh, boy.
Quark is history.
Despite my earlier criticism, I must admit your piloting skills are improving.
I knew you'd come around.
But that has not helped us locate Drek.
Come on, Clank. Can't you just once relax and enjoy a little success? Hey, you want to catch Drek? Betcha this baby can do it.
This is Darla Grash reporting live from Gorda City. This once peaceful planet is being torn apart today in an unprovoked attack. It now seems certain that Supreme Executive Chairman Drek will not be dissuaded in his efforts to destroy the galaxy for his own selfish needs. All hope certainly seems lost. Darla Grash, Channel 2 News.
Yes, I know. It is worse than I expected, too.
Look, maybe you were right. This is a lot bigger than you or me. I was really selfish focusing on Quark.
It is not too late to stop Drek.
Hey, yeah! We've got this new ship. Let's go get him.
Now you are talking.
So there we go, and the heroes have rallied to tackle Drek. As you can see, we did get a trophy for defeating Quark. Now, what else is there? I know there are some secrets around this area, but I can't exactly remember how they work. Can we get across? So you can see there's a teleporter just there, which I believe just takes you back to your ship once you climb back up to there. And obviously we have this new ship which allows us to travel about. But yeah, so given that we've just completed what is one of my least favourite areas, I'm very happy that we didn't die. We obviously defeated Quark in the combat, and now in the next episode we're going to be coming to Oltanis, which in my opinion is the hardest planet in the game. Personally, I'm really not good at Oltanis, so at least I don't think I am. So hopefully we'll be able to get through that relatively unscathed with some of our with all of our stuff intact. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my Let's Challenge of Ratchet and Clank, and I hope you will join me on the next episode.